So I got this question yesterday, and it's a question that I've never thought about before. And the YouTube user asked me if I was able to control my dreams, lucid dream every day or every night, and remember all my dreams every night, would I ever get bored? And they started talking about, if you slept 8 hours and you were actually lucid that 8 hours, would you be thinking to yourself, God, what time is it? Is whatever. And I can only imagine laying there for 8 hours in bed and recalling every minute of that 8 hours, just laying there in bed. And really, that's not quite what it is, because you're only lucid when you're actually dreaming. And there are certain waves, brain waves, that are going on that will actually start producing the dreams, and it's only during that time that you actually have the ability to become lucid. Because you can actually be in a deep sleep and not have any imagery, nothing, no dreaming. And it's not like you're sitting there, it's black, and you're listening to yourself breathe, and you're counting down the minutes or whatever. It's not like that at all. It's only in certain stages of sleep, and you go in and out of stages while you're dreaming. I mean, you could go from stage 1 to stage 5, and then go back to 2, and then back to 5, then to 4, then to 5. I mean, it jumps all over the place. And you're not necessarily dreaming at every single stage. It's just, it's mostly random is what it is. And when you actually do start to dream, and you become aware, you're lucid, you're conscious, and you're either observing the dream or you're playing out the dream. For me, at least, what I've noticed, and I really don't have enough experience right now to either prove or disprove this, but for me, the lucid dreams that I've observed have gone by faster than I thought. And the only reason I know this is because there was one night when I actually had a wild dream. And my clock, I remember rolling over and I looked at my clock and it said 10:03. And I ended up falling asleep, and I was aware that I was falling asleep. I was conscious, and I started dreaming. I was observing this dream, and the dream seemed like it lasted for quite a while. And I woke up, and I looked at the clock, and it was 1:30 in the morning. And this was me actually having this dream and being lucid. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that as soon as 10:04 hit and I started dreaming, I had a 3-hour dream, and it only seemed like it lasted a couple of minutes. It wasn't that at all. It was the fact that when I actually got out of all the stages of sleeping, then I became aware in the real world, and I looked at my clock. Okay? So basically how it worked with that particular dream, that particular night, was that I became lucid, I experienced the dream, and then I jumped stages. I didn't go right from the end of the dream to awake, looked at my clock and said, whoa, what a long dream. It wasn't that at all. It was the fact that I had gone through several stages after the dream ended, but didn't consciously realize that. And so it probably blacked out. And to me, because the brain isn't really processing time or anything else like that, because you're in a deep sleep, to me it seemed like after the dream was over, whoa, oh my God, it's been 3 hours. But when actually I probably spent a good 2 hours in a deep sleep, didn't even realize it, started jumping stages, things like that. I mean, it's not like as soon as you start to sleep, you you experience the entire 8 hours, if you sleep 8 hours, that is, in your bed, laying there, sleeping, whatever. It doesn't happen like that. Maybe somebody has that problem, but I would hate to to go however long just laying there. I mean, that would kill me. I'd be bored every single night, and I'd be praying for a dream. But so it's different, and I'm absolutely no expert. I'm not trying to write a book here. I'm not trying to become the next best professor next to Sigmund Freud or anything else like that. All I'm doing is basically, I did my research. I'm still doing research. I've developed my own methods of trying to induce lucid dreaming, trying to experience lucid dreams. And so far, this is how I've progressed. Are there better ways? Maybe. Are there worse ways? Maybe. I don't know. But, this is the process that I'm taking, and I can tell you that I don't really know what really happens. It's more of, based on what I've read in my research, this is what I conclude. There's no scientific basis for anything that I say, and as I said before, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. I just go based on my personal beliefs, feelings, opinions, whatever you want to call it, and if it gets me to where I need to be or want to be, then that's great. And it may or may not work for anyone else. This may just be my own process, and that's fine. So, that's pretty much all I can say.